building, and then the sun starts to come out. But now it's also rotated enough so that way we had to start closing the blinds in the office because the sun hits me right in the face because our cubicles stop at that height.
It's in my fucking eyes.
Yeah. And then the worst part is the blinds that we have, there's enough of a gap at the top that once it hits around 9:38 right now, boom, right in the eyes.
Specifically.
In this one area.
Yep. The worst part is, it's literally, like, if I showed you how much of my window this sun is shining through, it is incredible.
It is
I have a pillow on one side to block out the sun. I have my air conditioner vent on the other side to block out the sun. The garbage cans are outside of my window. It is threading the perfect needle to hit me in the face.
That's right. It's personal, that sun.
Oh, I got one last thing.
Oh.
My son bought the bouncer for PS2.
Oh, 2025's hit game.
Might have taste.
Yeah, so he's still going through his PS2 neat stuff phase right now.
How much was that copy? Less than $10, probably, right?
No, this one was actually 20. No, 18. He got it for 18.
That's fair.
Complete inbox.
Okay,
like,
for
manual.
all of it, that's a fair price. Yeah.
The manual is in excellent condition. Still has the flyer in the back because he was like,
okay,
I could send this off and get a free game from Squaresoft. I'm like, yeah, you do that, kid, and you let me know how that goes.
Yeah. All right, for all that stuff, that's a pretty all right.
Yeah, and
pretty all right.
See, I actually didn't look.
Hey
at
there,
that.
Pharaoh.
Oh, the back is like immaculate.
Oh, that's
like,
perfect.
I don't know if they actually played this game, so.
Well, your son is a man of taste.
That's right.
All I have to say.
And now I have to pull my PS2 out again so we can test to make sure this works. It almost got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I might as well just buy another PS2 right now.
Yeah, buy
I don't
one of
want
those
to
like
keep pulling this one out.
Slims.
Yeah, that's actually the one that I have right now.
Oh, okay.
But I can't find the controller, the normal controller. I have my PS1 controller, but I think my DualShock 2 controller, I think is stored in a bin. And I don't remember which one. And I don't want to haul everything out of this closet to figure out what bin I put it in. So I'm like, I need to buy another controller anyway. Might as well just buy a whole other PS2 at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Anyway, that was my last thing.
All right, you guys ready to get started?
Yep.
Mooney.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were muted for a second. I was like, what's
He was getting ready to get started.
That's right. Getting prepped.
Oh, Pharaoh, you're gonna have so much fun on the Outcast with the spotlight on my hat.
That's right. That's right.
Because it literally just started.
Yep.
It's actually even getting higher now than it was before.
That's right.
So
real time.
Give it another couple minutes. Yeah.
All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to a brand new episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
I got your name right this time, and the Nymph.
Hello.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That's right. This is a listener-supported show. If you're already supporting the show, thank you so much for your support. I said support way too many times. I'm going to say it again. If you'd like to support this show, you can do so over at e1m1.cash.
The ones are supports. I mean numbers.
That's right. You get early access, exclusive episodes. The Outcast is really great every week. At the $5 a month tier is the recommended one. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated, as we'll talk about later. But the full schedule, all the deets, all of that is over there on the website at e1m1.cash.
The digits. They're actually the digits. I was just goofing.
That's right. All right, Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, I think I mentioned this to you pre-recording, but I literally slept through Saturday.
Yes.
So,
with Moon told me the time frame, that is not an exaggeration.
No. So I woke up, I turned off all my alarms because I am mentally, physically drained from everything, including work. I was like, I'm not doing this thing. I just want to sleep in. I woke up at 3 p.m. I went downstairs. I made myself a cup of coffee. I grabbed a bottle of water. I went to the basement, sat on my chair, took my pills, fell asleep, didn't wake up till this morning.
That's right.
It's the way to do it.
Yep.
So maybe I was a little tired.
Yep. Going hibernation mode.
A little meaning very. So I really didn't play a whole bunch this week. I've mostly been playing bits and pieces of Helldivers here and there, trying to get the war bonds so I can get myself down that tree a little bit further so I can actually be helpful.
Fully kitted.
Jumping into Rob's...
Dude,
yes.
Just being another body is helpful. Because you are
I've
at the bare
like
minimum.
Spoken like a true Democrat right there.
Exactly. At the bare minimum, you're a decoy for enemy fodder.
Thank you for being grist for the mill.
Oh, but yes, like I mean, I've jumped in with Rob a few times, and he's been on like the level 5 difficulty missions, which I am nowhere near equipped for. But as he sent me a text message one day, I think it was, saying thank you for not being stupid at this game, which I was just like, okay, thanks. I think that's a compliment.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
it sounds like
you're not shooting Rob in the back every couple of minutes. Like,
that's right.
That's the best you can hope for.
True. And like I'm also I've got rare supplies now, like the resources. I've got the rare versions of them. I don't need them. I haven't unlocked anything even close to needing them yet. But I've got like 6 already, so it's like okay, that's fine, whatever. But I'm just chunking my way through that, trying to get some upgrades here and there, hopping in, trying to do my daily mission. It looks like the major orders for this week are going to be a complete failure based on where they were when I last looked, which is whatever. It's like, okay, I don't really mind.
It happens.
Other than that, I played an absolute boatload of Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Check out the newest season of We Roguelike It for Deep Rock in-depth galactic thoughts.
That's right.
About this game.
It's a real problem, man. It's a real it's
very good.
I think
very,
not to like steal content from We Were Like It here or anything,
ourselves.
But we steal from ourselves. We run into a lot of problems with roguelikes that have been in early access for a while. If you've listened to We Were Like It, we complain about this semi-frequently. But a lot of times they come out of early access, and a very kind of small hardcore community has been playing it for years, and the game cannot be hard enough for them because they have over-leveled and over-maxed out everything. So when it comes out in 1.0, and people like us that have been waiting for the full release start playing it, it's impossible. Like even the beginning base game stuff is overly difficult because it's so tuned for people that have been playing it for the last 6 years. That's definitely not the case for Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which feels so good. Like we had a little bit of criticism that the tutorial could be better or existent, which is a problem with like virtually every roguelike, except for big shout outs to Slice and Dice. Incredible tutorial that the developer wrote to us and said, I'm glad you like the tutorial. I really didn't want to make it, so I'm glad people are finding it useful. And I was like, I like the honesty. That's the most honest developer I've heard in a while.
I mean, honestly, if they just start putting manuals back into cases, we wouldn't have to have tutorial levels again.
Give me a downloadable PDF on Steam or Itch or something. Here we go. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's been the thing that, for anyone that has maybe been waiting for DRG Survivor to hit 1.0, also it's on Game Pass.
Like we were.
Yeah, like we were. The beginning of the game feels like it has a very smooth on-ramp. And if you've played stuff like Halls of Torment, you've played Vampire Survivors, you've played... Oh, God, what was that Bullet Heaven game that we really liked with the like sphere grid upgrade thing?
Spirit Hunter?
Yeah, Spirit Hunter Infinite Horde.
Spirit Hunter's Infinite Horde.
If you played any of those, you'll be right at home with DRG Survivor. Like, it's really... You start a run and you're like, oh, okay, yep, it's that. It's a Bullet Heaven game. I got it. We'll do it. So,
and I didn't know this, but apparently Turk said that you can press Y, triangle, to say rock and stone.
So it's really funny because I found
I play this
that...
one-handed. I did not know that was a thing. Before anybody says anything, I eat sandwiches in my other hand.
That's
Thank
right.
you very much.
Okay, whatever.
What's really funny is when you're in the middle of a run, it just says tooltip. So I'm playing with a DualSense, and it's just like triangle for tooltip. I pushed that button while I was doing a run just to see like what is it going to give me a tooltip of, and your character just does a fun bark. All the barks are really good, but just is like rock and stone, and you get an achievement that just says you remembered rock and stone. I was like, okay, that's real good. And then like ever since then, whenever I push it, they go, yeah, rock and stone. It's just like, okay, that's real good too, man. This game's ridiculous. It's really good.
Because Rocket Stone is like it's a major call out in the DRG original, and it's especially hilarious because when you get drinks at the bar before you go on your dives, you can toast, and when you toast, they say Rock and Stone.
Great, I love it. This game is really fun. I'm so far very, very happy with it.
Yes, DRG is hilarious. I'm sure we will have bumper episodes of We Roguelike It going forwards. If you want to,
our first episode was over a half an hour, which is like 3 times longer than most We Roguelike It episodes are. So if that gives you any impression.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see. We played a repo for the Friday night game night with Bilsiford. Bilsiford spent. I love this man. He spent so long building a code, trying to nail down his like code for everyone to be able to play, and for us to not crash anymore.
Right, and the perfect mod list loadout.
Yep. Really good mod list too. He had some bangers in there.
Yep.
Slight problem. We crashed.
Oh, Repo.
Repeatedly.
What are we gonna do with you, Repo?
So we tried, we played, we were having fun when we played. I need to try and do some number one, I need to find some time. And number two, I need to try and research and figure out if there's like a specific thing I can do to try and help it. But we got frustrated with it, so we ended up playing Peak.
Ah, okay. The latest friend game, Peak.
Yes. The latest friend game, Peak.
Made by who? Who makes this?
It's Crab something.
Aggro Crab.
I think they made. Yes, One Man's Lobster or something like that. They made that too.
Sorry, hold on. I just need to write down One Man's Lobster.
Look, I don't know what the name of the game's
called.
The
thing is, as soon as you said that, I saw it. I know which game he's talking about. It's definitely not called that, but it is definitely that. It is
there you go.
Another Crab's Treasure.
There you go. Words have meaning, and it turns out
they made Going Under, which I always forget.
Oh, that's the other game that we've covered for We Roguelike It.
Right. That I would not recommend. It's not very good.
It's a hard one. I'll say that much. It is extremely difficult. Roguelike.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, Peak.
The latest
If
game.
if you're unaware of what Peak is, like Boston said, Peak is like it's the latest Friends game because it's basically a climbing simulator, but super simple controls. You click to climb, you have a stamina bar, and you have to get to the peak. That's literally the whole point of the game. Get to the peak.
Yeah.
Slight problem with that is plants that are poisonous, people who want to push you off places, throwing things at each other, the usual kind of madness that these games kind of entail. It does also have proximity chat. So it took what Lethal Company did with the proximity chat, which I love, by the way. I still love games. I don't know why Lethal Company sparked this, but this whole thing of like proxy chat for these kinds of games is genius.
Proxy
especially
chat
in this
lift
one
games.
because because in this version of it, they've done an incredible job with sound waves bouncing off of walls.
I was just gonna ask you if you're like across the way from your friend and you're yelling at them, and this tiny tinny echo is bouncing around.
Yep. And
That's
you
great.
can't understand a word that they're saying because all you hear is the echo, and it's just like,
what?
I don't know what you said.
That's really good.
Because it's just an echo. Like, all I hear is this ridiculous echo, and I can't understand what you're saying.
That's really good.
And there is a bugle in the game.
Uh-huh.
Which you can play. And if you look up or down, it adjusts the pitch of the bugle.
Oh, no.
Is this Rob's new favorite thing?
Not Rob. Who's the true chaos agent among our group?
3, 2, 1. Everyone say it. Bill Sifford.
Yeah.
So I think it was me, Rob, Bill, Ash, and Elf. The Elf were all playing. So we were all just trying to climb nice and peacefully. And some people die, and when you die, you become a ghost and you can haunt people.
Perfect.
The ghost literally just floats around whoever you've highlighted or who you're spectating. But it's a physical ghost in the world, so you can do the proxy chat to talk to whoever you're haunting.
Jeez. That's really good.
And you can also go really close to their face. But I'll get to that in a second. So some people don't know how to work as a team because you can like pull people up, you can push people down, you can do all this kind of stuff. And the first time we played it, I had to go back to rescue Ash. And the whole time we're trying to climb this mountain, all I hear is a dumb bugle from way above me echoing down the mountain.
These games are so good.
And it's just like, I swear, Bill, I am going to kill you when I get up there because this is ridiculous.
And all he hears is...
And couldn't even hear that because he was playing the bugle so loud at the top of this mountain.
And like that...
basically...
That's why I push back so hard on the friend slop label for these games because these aren't bad games. Like these are good games. These are well-made, fun games. You know, we've talked about this before, but like I want to reiterate it because we haven't talked about friend slop in a while. It seems like that phrase might be losing a little bit of steam, but like these are well-made games. Like Aggro Crab makes great games, and you're having so much fun with your friends, and your friends get to be ridiculous and bananas and in a fun way causing chaos, and you don't get that experience with a lot of these other games. So like calling them slop to me is always kind of offensive.
Yeah, and like the game, like it's really smart. Like the way the game is made, it's really well. You're a bunch of Boy Scouts essentially, or non-gender fluid, or gender fluid scouts. We'll use that terminology instead of Boy Scouts because screw the Boy Scouts. And you have to. You're in an airplane. It crashes, and then you have to make it to the peak. I'm assuming to try and find help.
Right.
That's why you're making it to the peak.
So joke's on you. One of you just kicking each other off the peak.
That's right.
Yes, Bilsford is in the group, so yes, this happens. But you've all got sashes on, and you've got like a customizable look that you customize using your passport at the airport, which is the lobby of the game, which is a great little touch. And as you progress in the game, you unlock different badges for your patch. So like every achievement you get is a patch that goes on the sash that your character wears.
That's
you can unlock different sashes and different hats depending on what you do.
It's cool.
Really, really cleverly done. And it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. So you can see visually, just by looking at somebody, how much peak they've played.
Right.
And when you have 5 people in a lobby who all have basic B patches, basic B sashes, like just, here's a blue sash, let's go.
Right.
Like, and then all of a sudden we die and then we reload for the second time. And it's like, wait, why have you got a patch? Why don't I have a patch? Why have you
Right.
got a...
Where'd you get that thing?
It turns out the patch was because they made it to the first campfire, which some of us would have got that patch too. If the resurrection statue hadn't been touched and destroyed before the ghosts were at the statue to be respawned.
Lessons were learned, for sure.
But instead, you got the fell 500 meters patch.
That's right.
There is one of those.
There had to be at some point.
Yeah. Instead, what happened was a bunch of ghosts haunted somebody like giant a-holes because we couldn't help ourselves.
Because you're friends.
There was... Yes. So... Bill and Rob made it up, and Elf made it up, and then Elf came back to help. Elf is the one who touched the statue. For the record, that's the statue violator. That was Elf.
That's right. Wanted on the record.
Just for,
transparency's
authenticity's sake.
Yep.
Yes.
Look, they were trying to make amends, okay? They knew they goofed,
yeah,
so they decided to help you.
Did. So they came down, and then they died too. So myself, Ash, and Elf were all dead. And there was a point where all three of us were literally floating in front of Rob's face, just talking at him the entire time, while he's separate from Bill, trying to figure out a way up this jungle section of the mountain. And we're just talking at him. He's like, I can't see anything. You're all in my face. It's like, And
that plan's really infuriating.
Plan's working perfectly.
You mouse control the camera, so you just go behind the head and you could just talk at them the entire time to really get on the nerves.
That's so good.
At one point, I died, and I think I spawned spectating Ash, who was climbing up a mountain. But the ghost was inside of the mountain, so I just zoomed right into Ash's face and was like, "Hello," and got a jump scare. So
Great.
I'll take that. Ghost coming out of nowhere. It's dumb. It's fun. It's stupid. We did have to mod it to let more than 4 people in at once, but that's fine. The game is running completely spotless with only 2 mods. Also, if you decide to load this game up, just as a piece of advice, it does have a max frame rate set to 400 the first time you load it.
Jesus.
You might want to change that.
Yeah.
Just
bring that down a little bit.
Just to let you know.
Nah, just put your computer in a freezer.
That's right.
Yep. And it's absolutely great. Like, I'm enjoying this game so dumbly, so funly. Again, it's one of those games that's like, it doesn't really matter. I get to sit there, play with the gang of a Friday, and then, we can all chill out and have fun playing it. It's great. I like Peak. Peak is great. But that's all. I had one day to play video games, essentially, and that's all I've played. So, Mr. Nimp.
So, I just want to throw out there that there is a game that I'm watching right now called Jump Ship. Which is a 4-person PvP game. I sent Moon a clip last weekend.
Yeah, it's PvE, and it hit my radar.
PvE, yeah.
That's something that I'm gonna be paying attention to now.
Yeah, I'm watching that because next year my school load is extremely thin, and my workload should also be extremely thin. So I should be able to start playing games with people again. So outside of my son, who I enjoy playing with, but anyway. So that's another thing to keep on your radar. Jump Ship. Keep an eye out for.
There you
go. Trust me, the way Survivor is going, Deep Rock Galactic is going to be back in my top 5 play games real soon.
Yeah, there you
go. I bet. First game that I played this week, this will be pretty short, is first Berserker Khazan. I am including the area that I'm about to go into, I'm in the last 5 areas of the game.
Okay.
I am just having an absolute blast with this game, and last week I said I want to get a little further into it before I claim this is a good starter kind of Souls game, and I think I'm at the point now where it's like, I would put this out there where if you are interested in playing a Souls game but you're worried about the difficulty or the time commitment, this would definitely be a recommendation that I would put out there. It does have a beginner mode that you can put it on.
Oh, nice.
And as far as I know, I haven't looked at all the hidden trophies yet, but I don't believe any of the trophies are gate locked behind the difficulty.
Oh,
There
okay.
may be one where it's like beat it on the hardest difficulty, but outside of that, everything else is just you can play it on whatever and you're good to go. I have currently unlocked what feels like the best greatsword set, which is a pretty cool looking one. It's called the Crimson set. And basically you are running around with a full-on iron mask, and it's got, I meant to look this up, but it's got the like the collar, like metal fan collar sticking out the back.
Ooh, cool.
So, and the rest of him is basically naked except for pants.
Okay.
And his torso armor is just candles that are still lit, that are melting, that are stuck to his skin. And he's got like a ring that has been grafted into his skin on his chest.
Oh, jeez.
Which looks kind of messed up, but not horrific. But other than that, he's running around barefoot, and he's got a giant sword, which looks horrendous, and it hurts, and it's great. So,
nice.
My move set with this so far. Oh, and I see who's that shrimp in the background there?
Grits is back there. He's
Grits
sleeping on a giant container back here.
Just chilling.
Okay.
So my move set has mostly been, especially with this armor, because you get stamina back and you get spirit points back. So I basically just rush in, do some quick attacks, hold for a charge attack that recharges a bunch of my stuff. So then I just charge in there again, and it's basically just this back and forth of I charge in there until I need to block and just keep hitting it until it dies.
Okay.
And it has worked out great for me so far. So that is how I'm going to continue playing this. But
nice.
I'm having an absolute blast with this game. I'm really enjoying it. The story it's fine. You get a lot more of the story. There are cutscenes and stuff in this game as well. I will also let you know, once you, I think it's chapter 4, once you unlock the blacksmith, they did eventually in one of the updates create a female version of Khazan.
Oh, cool.
If you switch over to the female version, though, from my understanding, the cutscenes don't happen anymore, and some story events like just don't show up for
weird.
you. Just because they didn't go back through and redo all the cutscenes for the story specific stuff.
Right.
And it's not like the in-game engine stuff. It sounds like it'll switch over to that character model, but it just doesn't for the actual non-in-game engine stuff. So it just seems like it's an extra little thing for you to do on like your second playthrough, just to have something different. But it sounds like they changed most of the armor sets, so that way there is like a female variant of the armor set as well. So you get a lot of that. But I just wanted to throw out there that is an option, but maybe don't do it on your first playthrough, just because you will be missing out on a bunch of the story content, it seems like. Right. So that may be something to wait for the second playthrough. One more thing to point out, because there are collectibles in the levels. There's these things called jarlings, which hide in a jar. They're basically like little spirits that you get like this at the very beginning. You get like this cute little cutscene in one of these side missions that you pick up, and it's all these jars hiding from an undead.
Okay.
And the undead is like slowly shambling its way to this house, and all these jarlings are hiding behind a bunch of these jars. But the problem is that they're spirits, so they glow. So they're basically projecting like a shadow image of themselves on the wall behind them, behind the jars that they're hiding behind. So the undead was able to figure out where they are, smashes the jars, and they all scatter to the four winds. So now you have this guy who wears a jar on his head for some reason, who is a jar enthusiast.
Naturally.
And you are supposed to find these jarlings and send them back to him. He has his own shop, and depending on how many jarlings you send back, depends on what you can buy from his shop. And he's got some cool looking stuff in there. Some lanterns are very helpful in there, so definitely check those out. Because there are, like, for undead, if you don't have the undead hunter lantern, you have to kill the undead twice. So you kill them one time, they go down, you see like this pink little orb that floats, and it slowly descends back down to the body. If you don't hit the body again before it fully descends, they'll come back up and you have to fight them again.
Gotcha.
But if you have the undead hunter lantern turned on, As soon as you kill them, they're gone. So you don't have to worry about it anymore. But then you have another lantern that's like the coward's lantern that will show you hidden things throughout the world. And there are hidden undead who you can see their footsteps walking on the ground, but if you don't have this lantern activated, they will ambush you even though you know that they're there.
Oh.
And you get a ton of damage dealt to you. And you can kind of counteract it a little bit if you can get them unaware. But depending on the environment you're in, sometimes it's difficult to see the footsteps that they're trotting along with. So, little give or take there. And one last note is some of these updates, they have moved enemy types and collect jarlings specifically where they are located in the world.
Oh, wow.
So there was one map, I don't remember what one I was on, that I was missing a jarling. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me pull up a video. Let me try to figure out where this is at. Pull up a video. They're like, okay, yeah. They walk you through, okay, this is where this jarling's at. It's like, cool. I go there, break open the jar. There is no jarling. I'm like, what the heck? So I look up 2 more videos, and they all say and show the exact same thing. This is where the jarling's located. You watch them go to the same location I'm currently at. No jarling. 3rd video, or technically 4th video that I pull up, they're like, yeah, there's been an update recently, and they moved the location of this one.
Oh, jeez.
This is now where the jarling's at. And it wasn't that far away. It was like they just happened to move it around in this one area. So I go around the corner behind this other section. Boom, there's the jarling. So I don't know why they did that. It seems kind of weird. But like I said, I also noticed it while looking at some other videos that some of the enemy types, like I see people who played this game earlier that fought certain enemy types in this area, and I go to that area, there's nothing. There's not an enemy of any kind there.
Interesting.
Which is kind of weird. So I don't know if it's maybe they were playing on a harder difficulty, because I think there's beginning, normal, hard, and I think there's like a hardcore mode, if I'm remembering correctly. So maybe they were playing on like the hardest difficulty, and maybe that brought in more enemies. But either way, just keep an eye out for that when you're looking for videos that you may need to find an updated walkthrough.
The most recent version.
Yeah, to find what you're looking for. So, but yeah, outside of that, it's been a very fun game. The maps are very short. I think the longest one that I've run took me about an hour to complete one map, and that was the longest one. They're usually around 30 to 40 minutes. So it's like it's been really nice to have like this little compact, okay, let me just do this run. I beat it. Cool. Now I can wait and I can move on to the next run. So that's the other great thing about this. It's not like any of the other Souls games where it's like, oh no, this is just this massive area that you have to go check out now before you find another place to rest. So yeah. First Berserker Khazan. Check it out if you want to check out a good Souls game. Nice. A fun, good Souls game. My last game that I've had very, very little time with. We are getting into October, and so I have decided again during the month of October I will be playing another spooky game.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, spooky season.
It is. So I have decided that this year I will be playing The Evil Within.
Oh.
Tango Works, The Evil Within.
That's right.
Boy, let me tell you, does this game go places in the first couple of minutes?
Oh yeah.
Is this the same game where you put gasoline on the bullets to turn them into fire rounds?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. I just got a handgun finally.
Okay.
So, this game opens up. You are playing as a detective, and you are in a squad car, and there are 2 other detectives with you, and a police officer driving. And it makes it sound like you guys are just coming back from something. On the way back, there is a big call that goes out that says, "Hey, multiple homicides at blah blah blah. We need every available unit in the area to head this way." You guys happen to be in the area, so you call in saying, "Hey, reporting in, we will be dispatching out to this hospital." You get there, there's a bunch of cop cars everywhere, no cops, no people, no nothing. It's like, okay, that's a little weird. You go into the hospital, still not a whole lot of anything, but you hear somebody making a noise. You go in there. You find a doctor who is just hysterical. You pull up the security camera in that room, and you see a bunch of cops in a hallway shooting at something off screen. And then all of a sudden, a person clad in full white shows up in front of each cop and just straight up decapitates them.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Then does the awesome thing of this person looks up at the camera, disappears, and is now behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And you are knocked out and whisked away to another palatial place to hang out.
Okay.
So your main character, who I don't know their name right now off the top of my head, because that's how long I've played this, is hanging upside down in a meat locker, basically, with other bodies hanging
perfect.
upside down. Yeah. And there's a dude, a big dude, walking around, walks past you, goes to another body that's hanging up, and just starts hacking away at this body.
Oh, boy.
And this is the time that I tell you that my idiot self decided that late at night I should be playing horror games with a headset on.
Oh, perfect.
Because why not? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody come up behind you at that point?
No, but it's probably going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
So I got the full...
And thank you, Torek in chat, for pointing out it's Alone in the Dark where you pour gasoline on bullets to make incendiary rounds.
Right.
Okay. Because this game, there is a mechanic with matches, and you have to... It brought up briefly that you can burn bodies. I'm assuming this is going to be like a whole thing where it's like you can kill enemies, but if you don't burn the bodies, they'll come back eventually. Right. But I don't know, because it didn't get much deeper into the mechanic. But I will get to that here in a little bit. So, after I hear all the cool noises coming through my very good headset, you eventually notice that there's like a hunting knife sticking out of one of the corpses next to you. So now your next objective is to swing back and forth to grab this knife so you can cut yourself down. It's like, all right, let's knock that out. I got lost on what I needed to do next, specifically because I found a door that you couldn't really interact with. It didn't say that it was locked or anything. And there's just the butcher dude who has his back to you, and he eventually walks away, and then he'll come back, and he kind of does this loop where he'll keep walking away. I'm like, okay, there's something I obviously need to do in this room. That's why they're giving me the ability to sneak in here when he's not there. I just can't figure out what it is. And I happened to get caught while trying to figure out what to do in that room, and that guy grabbed me, threw me to the floor, took a meat cleaver, and chopped my head off.
Oh, damn.
It's one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. The second time, after cutting myself down again, which it has a very good checkpointing system. So I noticed that on one of the hooks there, it is flashing. It's like, oh, I now see that there are keys hanging there. I don't know if it had been flashing this entire time or it was just now, hey, you've already died once. Idiot. Look here.
Like,
do
we'll
this.
help you out a little bit.
Yeah. So, butcher runs in there. I grab the key, run out. I can unlock this door. Cool. That starts a whole running cutscene where the guy is chasing me with a chainsaw and I have to run away from him. But my guy is too slow and he gets cut in the leg with the chainsaw. So now he's limping everywhere. And now I'm in a pool of blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I then crawl out of this, go through this freaky little sewage system, pick up some notes about weird things happening in this area. Like, all right, cool. Get back up to the hospital, and then it does some alien isolation stuff of all of a sudden a door bangs open, and I've got like a couple of seconds to hide somewhere, and there's a locker here.
Okay.
So that's where I hide.
Jeez.
And the entire time, like, this dude full on kicks this door in. The door, you see the door go flying across the screen from what little bit you can see from the locker, and it's just sitting there banging stuff around, hitting stuff with the chainsaw. And the entire time I see that the game is allowing me to exit the locker. And I'm like, do I need to get out of here before he noticed? Like, is he actually going to check?
Should I escape?
Yeah. Luckily, he does not. He gets mad, carries on to the next room where he's stalking. And now, my GIMP character needs to sneak through this area that this guy is patrolling so that way I can continue on into the game. I don't have a gun. I don't have anything.
Right.
So it's just purely, okay, I need to get away from this guy. I find a bottle, throw it to distract him, get into the next area. There's another chase sequence, and then I get to the next cutscene finally, where it all of a sudden turns into Inception.
Okay.
Nobody can get a hold of anybody. Like, your group of people are all that is left. You end up losing, I think the guy's name was Joseph. One of the detectives that you were with is just like gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the officer is there in an ambulance telling you to get into it. The world like is on fire. Like buildings, it looks like a war zone. Like buildings are on fire, things have exploded, and the road in front of you is starting to collapse.
Okay.
And you jump into this ambulance, and there's the officer, your character, the female officer that was there, I think the doctor that you see at the beginning, and a random patient.
Okay.
Who's just completely out of it. And you haul out of here, and this is where it gets interesting because the road is falling behind you as you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
And literal buildings start to shift to block the road.
Oh, wow.
So this is where it starts to turn into the Inception part, where it's
Right.
like, okay, this is like all kinds of weird crap happening. You go through a tunnel, the patient, all of a sudden is like coherent enough to start yelling out, fall, fall. You guys don't know what's going on. Next thing you know, the ambulance is out in the air, and you guys crash into the forest.
Okay.
And that's roughly where I'm at with Within Evil.
Wild.
And I found, or Evil Within, I found a pistol and immediately had to kill somebody with it.
Sure.
And so now I just have an empty pistol. The other weird, interesting thing is when you wake up from the crash of the ambulance, you wake up in a room and you're like in an old institute, like mental institute. And a nurse, a la Silent Hill, not the fancy monster nurses, but like the full-on cardigan with like the little white hat,
Oh, sure.
Silent Hill looking nurse pops up and says, "Oh, you're awake," and lets you out of the room. And you're like, cool, what is going on? And this lady's like, I can't really tell you. Literally, I just work here.
That's
However, before I can help you, you need to sign in. And signing in is basically, this is your save spot. You need to save your game.
Okay.
It's like, all right, cool. Save my game. She walks me over to a chair. She's like, sit down in this chair and we'll help examine you. It goes from looking like a nice chair to you sit down, all of a sudden you get strapped in and you've got like this thing on your head and it turns into like the most horrific looking chair.
Yeah,
Like one of, like almost like the old school like electrocute chairs.
Right.
Yeah. And now you get brought into the tutorial of, hey, you found this green goop crap. This is how you level up your character in the game. By finding more of this out in the world, you can do this, this, and this. And I'm like, man, this is some crazy stuff we're going through. And as your character starts to calm down and starts talking with the nurse, the whole room starts on fire.
Of course.
And he is like feeling it. He is reacting physically to the fire. He is being burnt. And he is yelling up to the nurse, am I crazy? What is happening? And the nurse is just like, I don't know. Are you crazy? And she is full on fire.
Of course.
Turns out you are waking up from still being in the ambulance, which is upside down in this forest, on fire.
Oh, jeez.
So now you have to get out of there. And it's like this whole crazy thing. It's like just one fever dream after another.
Right.
But it's been pretty interesting. But yeah, I got the gun, killed the person. I found my first save point, which looks like it's just any kind of mirror so far that you find in the world.
Oh, interesting.
Is a portal to go back to that hospital, so that way you can save and you can upgrade your character with the green gel stuff. And so bringing up your whole thing with the gasoline I was talking about with the matches, you get like a very brief tutorial about being able to burn corpses, and if they're close enough to each other, you can burn multiple corpses with one match. And then it also happens to mention that also using matches helps like exploring the environment and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So the first thing I did was bump up my match count, so now I can run around with like 7 matches, I think it is. I think you start out with like 2 or 3 that you can hold, and now I 7, because I'm like, that seems kind of important.
Yeah.
And we're gonna find out how important that is, but that's as far as I've gotten with this game. I am playing this on my computer because I got it for free with Epic. I've got that one and The Evil Within 2 as well.
Okay.
So I'm just playing it on Epic with my Xbox controller here. So far, it's running fine. I mean, it's an old game. I think it came out in like 2017, 2016, something like that.
It's pretty up there.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about it with my screens is that it just feels a little too zoomed in with the camera. Like you're a little too close to the character.
Oh, okay.
I was reading online, there's mods that you can get that can kind of back that up too. But if you didn't want to install a mod, you can open up the console command, which apparently does have a command in there that you can pull the camera, either zoom in more, which I don't know why you would want to,
right,
or you can back it up a little bit more too using the console command. So I might look at that just to kind of check it out. But I am playing on, I think it's Survivalist, which I believe is their normal. And I don't know, I'm guessing this is on purpose, but there's like no real indicators of anything until you're like right up on it, and all of a sudden you might see an icon that pops up that says that you can interact with this.
Okay.
But a lot of times it's mostly just I'm lost and I don't know where to go, so I'm just going to keep walking around, and I walked past this thing 3 times and I just happened to hit A this time, and look, I can interact with this thing now. So
right.
it's kind of weird, but it's interesting. It's a horror game.
Sounds unique so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna keep checking it out. And hopefully I'll have it beat by the end of October. That's always the goal with doing this now. I think that's how long it took me to get through Callisto Protocol last year.
I think so.
So
yeah.
Cross my fingers.
I don't know how long this game is, but so far it's real interesting, and I'm a sucker for leveling things up, so that will probably keep me ensnared looking for all that green gel on the map.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing. So, Boston, what have you been up to?
Only thing I played this week, Hollow Knight Silksong, of course.
I have, when you have a moment, a very funny story about watching you play this.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay. I happened to be home from work, what was it, Friday?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Small detail, doesn't matter. Anyway, happened to be home from work on lunch, was watching you play, and you had gotten to a point where you were in an area that you hadn't sat at a bench for a while. You had gotten poisoned or plagued or something, so you didn't have the ability to heal. You were down to 1 health face icon.
Yep.
And you were at the area where you had to jump up the thing, but you had like a green thing barfing towards you.
Yes.
That you were getting hit by.
Area. Yeah.
All right. So you were at the platform and you came to a decision of, I'm just gonna come back here later, I guess. And I saw you jump from that platform and jump right into spikes. And very long floating into spikes.
Yep.
And the entire time you didn't say anything before you just started doing this. I'm like, I guess he decided to just end it on his own terms kind of thing. And all of a sudden all you say is, I didn't think that was sharp. And you got the biggest spit take out of me here in this office.
Half of the problem, both of these games have had the same thing, where every once in a while you'll run into like something in the foreground that isn't really there, or you'll run into something where you like fall in the water and it kills you, and it's like, well, none of the other water, okay, I guess the water in this area kills you, okay, cool. Or like that nightmare area I'm in right now, where it's like, okay, this water with the maggots in it poisons you, and you have to fill up your silk enough to heal yourself. That just clears the poison. That doesn't heal you. It's like, okay, that's the problem with this area. So, like, when I was in that area, I remember that moment of, like, okay, I'm just going to try and slide down this wall because it looks like it has grass on it. And other areas, they have like a bumpy wall that you can't grab onto. There's like a wall I could grab onto underneath it. I was like, I'll just slide down the side of this wall I touch it and it immediately kills me, and I was like, this game, I swear to God, like, why are you
Even
the way that you
thinking about it,
are?
like there was definitely a half beat of you just staring at the screen, and that was when I lost it. Just when you said I didn't think that was sharp.
Yeah, that's this game is a lot of like, and half the time I die like that is because I get greedy. You know, it's just like any Soulsborne, where it's like, of course that killed me. Of course, I should have just gone back and I should have just saved. I shouldn't have done the greedy thing, or I shouldn't have tried to get one more hit on this guy. I could have just gone around him, or I could have just jumped over him and left. But no, I had to get greedy. I had to do the stupid thing, and it punished me. That's
a very
Silksong.
funny way.
Yeah. I am still really, really, really enjoying this game. It's obviously going to be in my top 10 this year. I'm not. It's not pushing me away like it is pushing a bunch of people away. Again, like I've talked about before, I understand why people are very frustrated with this game. But I don't really share those frustrations. I am frustrated with the area that I'm in right now. It's basically like the blight town of this game. But it's supposed to be frustrating. It's supposed to be this ridiculously hard area. It's supposed to be this thing of like, it has one of the hardest boss fights I've played in this game, where the bench you have is very far away. You are very likely to get poisoned on your way back. And you have to complete a whole enemy gauntlet before you get to fight the boss. And when you die, you have to fight the whole gauntlet again. So, like, it's just kind of the perfect storm of, like, yeah, okay, yeah, we're going to do this, huh? This is going to be the hardest fight we're going to do? Great. And then I remind myself, the hardest fight so far.
Exactly.
But, like, the thing that I like about the Metroidvania portion of this is I just got fed up with that area and I'm going somewhere else. Like, I keep stumbling still. I think my total time when I ended the last stream was like 25 hours or so. I'm still finding new areas. Like last week, I just found a handful of brand new areas that I just haven't run into before. And they have like names and a map and everything. Like I'm running into an incredible amount of stuff in this game. And like I got some new movement abilities, and you always see it on the Metrovania maps. You look at an area and there's like one little exit in the ceiling where you're like, okay, now I should be able to get to this one. Now that I have all this stuff, now I can see what's up there. Guess what? Brand new area. It's just like, okay, great, cool.
And I think one of the areas that you were messing with too, it wasn't so much that it was a brand new area. It was just that you didn't go to the highest point of that area yet, and you had started working on a quest, which I didn't know that it had quest tracking too. I don't remember if the first Hollow Knight did or not. It's been a while since I've touched it. Okay,
so that's been one thing that people are their own worst enemy for this game. The quests in this game are called wishes. Basically, on like a bulletin board in every town, there'll be a set of wishes. And a lot of times it's like, hey, I need you, we're looking to improve the town. Can you give us 500 rosary beads and we'll improve the town? And then an hour or so later, they'll be like, oh, town's looking great. Can you give us 500 more rosary beads? That sort of thing. But there's also like hunts you can do for like optional boss enemies, and those will usually give you like a big bonus. But there are also like let's call them MMO quests. You were seeing me do one of the more annoying ones, which is like, I need to build a scarecrow and I need 25 feathers to build the scarecrow. It's like, okay, cool, sure. How I've been approaching those quests is, I think, the way you're intended to, which is, because it's a Metroidvania, you're going back to these areas multiple times. So people online are complaining about these wishes, and they're saying, well, of course, I just knocked out the whole thing. I just farmed this one screen for it for 30 minutes to an hour, and I did it. And I was like, but that's not the fun part. Like, you don't punish yourself by just grinding out an MMO quest when you can just do it. And unfortunately,
as you progress,
yeah, and like, because unfortunately, most of the rewards so far haven't really been that great. Typically, it will give you a string of rosary beads, and sometimes they'll be good. It'll be like, yeah, there's like 300 rosary beads, which is still a lot. But a lot of times it'll be like, here's 30. Good luck. And it's like, well, that wasn't worth the time. Yeah, so like, and it would have been even worse if I had just spent my time farming it to like not get a great reward. But yeah, I was working on one of the more annoying ones where you have to get like these 25 like crow feathers, essentially. What were you saying? Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying you would just happen to find, because you had mentioned while you were exploring that area, it's like, oh, I've obviously haven't been up here, but then you ran into like a ton of those crow things in that area, and you're like, oh geez, I can just kill it, and then you knocked out the quest right there. I don't know how many you had left to get anyway, but you're like, oh, there's enough of these here that I can just knock out this quest now.
Yeah, it's been really fun. The more I get movement abilities, the more you start seeing the map differently, where you're like, oh, the top of this area kind of fades out, and I thought it was basically just saying, oh, that's the edge of the map, like there's nothing beyond here. No, I just hadn't found the pathway up there because I didn't have all the movement abilities. And now that I see that, I can just like climb 4 screens higher than I was before and explore an entire new zone, or like this zone is twice as big as I thought it was now just because I can get all the way up there. And that stuff has been really great. Like, that's what I really love out of Metroidvania is it's like, you get this new ability, and not only are you finding new zones, but you're also finding, hey, there's a shaft of light you didn't see before, and that's actually just, the ceiling is open. You can just jump up there and start finding an entirely new area. So that's been really good. I ran into the sort of infamous gauntlet in this game. People are calling it the High Halls Gauntlet. It is impossibly hard when I ran into it before. Apparently it reminds me a lot of, in the first Hollow Knight, there's that boss fight where you're fighting those like big roly-poly guys, and there's like 6 of them, and they come out like 2 at a time. And there's that one like secret way of like knocking something down and taking one of them out permanently, so you only have to fight 5. Apparently there's a way to do something similar in this fight that I never found. So I was like struggling because it's wave after wave after wave of enemies, and they just keep getting more and more and more difficult. It's just a brutal gauntlet of a fight. And that was another one where I was like, I'm not going to do this. Like, I've spent the last 45 minutes just beating my head against it, and I know the enemy patterns, and I know which enemies are going to spawn. I know where they're going to spawn, and I just can't do it at all. And I finally got back to it this week. I think I got another damage upgrade. I got a bunch of new tools, because one of Hornet's things she can do is she can equip a bunch of different tools. And you can kind of do like up or down and R1, and you're kind of throwing out offensive tools. I got a bunch of those. One, which I really, really love. If you've been watching, I don't want to spoil it if you've been watching the stream, they're like my little buddies, I've been calling them. That's been really great. So I went back there like stronger. I think I had another mask, so I think I have 8 masks now, which is essentially your health. And I have like even more silk that I can hold on to. And I went back there and I destroyed that fight. And like
Nice.
that's the stuff that feels so good in this game of like I probably could have done that fight 5 hours ago. Like if I had just kept beating my head against it, I'm sure I could have beaten it, but it feels even better about being like, all right, I've been putting this off all week. I've done a ton of streams this week. I'm just going to go try it. And first try, you just knock it out. It's like, yeah, here we go. All right, that's the good stuff.
Oh, I have a question.
Sure.
How have you not played any of the latter Dark Souls games, like Elden Ring?
There's
because they
what
don't
you're
have a
describing,
pause
that
button.
like that feeling that you're describing, that is for me the beauty of the Dark Souls games too.
Right.
Is the you whooped me like 4 hours ago, and now I'm back and stronger than ever. I've been in the hyperbolic time chamber. I've taken my GNU seeds. Like,
or you
I'm
just took
stronger,
a nap
like,
and you can see the code now.
Right, I'm stronger than you could imagine, Kakarot.
yes.
Right. There's something about the Soulsborne games that Hollow Knight and Silksong itches, and I think it's the combination of it being a 2D Metroidvania, it's like the specifically 2D Metroidvania stuff, with it's the same thing I praised in the first Hollow Knight, which is like you're getting all the lore from the items, and you're getting all these like little pieces of lore. It's the stuff that the Soulsborne games do really well, of like you're reading every item description, you're getting even more information about the world. And I really do like difficult bosses and learning the patterns, and you know, I talk about it a lot on my streams of like, I'm making progress. As long as I'm making progress in a fight, like I fought that Widow fight, I think it was Berserker, it counted 17 times. But every time I fought her, well, the vast majority of times I fought her, I was making progress, I was making it faster. The first phase was cleaner than the last time I fought, and I made it in deeper into phase 2 or phase 3 or whatever. Like, all of that stuff really clicks with me. But there's something about the FromSoft games specifically that really don't, and I've struggled to figure out what it is. I don't know if it's because it's 3D, or maybe because the kind of fodder enemies are more dangerous in most Soulsborne games, which I feel like From has kind of been loosening over time, of like, maybe we shouldn't have everybody in the world be, you know, an incredible killer.
Yeah.
But there's something about it that this specifically really like tickles that part of my brain. But something about those games, which are very similar, like I completely agree with you. They're very similar, especially from like a boss fight perspective. It just really doesn't click with me in the same way, other than Demon's Souls. I really love the original version of Demon's Souls, just because I think it swung so far in the other direction of being overly punishing and incredibly obtuse that kind of clicked with me.
So,
yeah.
does PlayStation have a wish list, like its store?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I would like you to do, Boston,
Yeah.
I would like you to find Elden Ring,
Uh-huh.
put that on your wish list, and when it goes on sale for like $10, because I bought Elden Ring with the DLC for $7.
Let's do PSN
When I will play
store,
it, I do not know.
Elden Ring.
But I would just like you to put it on that list as like a $10 buy.
I will
That
do
way, if you don't like it, it's no big deal. And then just give it a shot. I would like to see what you think of something like Elden Ring, which arguably is the pinnacle of the Soulsborne games.
Right,
from that
the kind of like
studio.
cream of the crop of FromSoft's like Soulsborne stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would,
and at like $10, you're not gonna complain. And if you are, I'm gonna PayPal you $10 right now if you.
Well,
complain.
and especially as I'm streaming, like I I like the idea of going into something like Elden Ring. I have put Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree Edition on my wish list here. I've hit the little heart. But like it would be fun to see with everybody. Like, I haven't played this game before, and I am genuinely largely blind about Elden Ring because I didn't watch anybody stream it because it's just something I'm not super interested in. I'm not a hater. I love FromSoft stuff, but I would be willing to at least give it a handful of likely a handful of dozen hours to try and see what it is and if it kind of clicks with me for sure.
I was actually going to put out there too, because maybe just for you, maybe it is just the 2D Metroidvania style that just clicks for you. If you haven't already, watch a video on Nine Souls.
I want to play Nine Souls so badly.
Yeah, because that seems like that would be right up your alley as well.
Yeah, people have really, especially Orahack, who I follow online, the artist. She really loved Nine Souls in a way that I think it would click with me quite a bit. So yeah, I think that's on my wish list as well because it came out on consoles recently-ish, or like at the very end of last year, maybe.
That's one of the ones that I am also watching. It's like, one day maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, it's that sort of stuff that I really click with in this game, and it's the sort of stuff that like. There are a lot of criticisms about this game online, and I try to keep an eye on all the non-spoilery ones because I do want to see like what the temperature of the room is especially for a game that's so big and has been so anticipated over the last 7 years. Pharaoh in chat says I should try Lies of P as well. I probably would really enjoy Lies of P based on what you guys were saying. I should add that to my my wish list as well.
That could be hit or miss because Lies of P does. There are certain bosses that you hit where it is a definite skill check that I know I struggled on for a while. Especially that last boss. Holy hell! Screw that hidden boss.
Yeah. But like. It's really interesting to see the reasons why people hate this game, which is like overly difficult bosses, which I agree. Very long runbacks, which I agree. They are very long, but like I talked about, I think runbacks for me are an interesting, not necessarily important, but interesting part of games like this. Of like, it is part of the boss fight. It is part of the game itself. And like all of this stuff that people are like, yes, like I'm not going to finish this game because of X, Y, and Z. That's the stuff that does really click with me in a way of like, yeah, this is why I like this game. This game is really hard. It is so much harder than the first game. Like it is on par with the ending of the first game, and that's where a lot of this game starts. But I think that's really interesting, and that's the sort of stuff that has really clicked with me. What else have I... I have finally done the main objective of Act 2. Now dozens and dozens of hours after I've started Act 2. The game did do a really good job, I think, of saying, like, okay, Act 1 is done. You're starting Act 2. Here's this area that Act 2 takes place in. Here is your objective. Once I kind of hit that objective, it splits into a number of sort of sub-objectives, and it just puts those on the map. Of like, you haven't found these areas yet, bam, 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 like all these places are on the map. Figure out how to get there, figure out what to do. And I did all 3 of those in this last stream, which I thought turned out. It was sort of like, I've been near all of these areas, I just needed to like, go do that gauntlet. That was one of them. I needed to go to this one area I hadn't explored yet. That was one of them. I had to go do this other thing. I had to fight my favorite boss in this game, Trobio. He comes on screen, Trobio! And he's like this incredibly bombastic like stage performance, like the spotlight. Someone, I think it was Torek in chat, mentioned to me that the spotlight follows him wherever he goes on the stage you're fighting him on. He's throwing like sparklers and fireworks all the time. When you beat him, it made me laugh the hardest in this game was just his kind of death animation, which was incredible. I'm not going to spoil it. But like, it's that kind of fun moment in a Metroidvania where all of the exploration pieces are coming together, where you're like, oh, I remember getting to a dead end in this area, and I fought this boss, and I kind of explored a couple rooms. I knocked down a wall. You know, they did this in Hollow Knight too, where you run into a wall that has like the 2x4s bracing it up. You knock those down. Oh, now I have a shortcut between that area and this area. So if I haven't fought that boss, I have a much shorter run to go back to that boss. Or like, if I need to go back through that area, now I have a shorter way to do it. Or that can open up an alternate path to a secret area or something like that. Like, so a lot of times in the stream, I'm clearing out one of those areas and I'm like knocking down a wall, and I walk into the next room and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why I couldn't find out a way to get out of this room. I needed to go like around the map and clear out a boss and a secret area, and now I'm here. Okay, cool. So like it's all starting to come together now, in a way that is really, really rewarding and really fun. So I'm kind of curious next time I play. So once you do those kind of 3 objectives at Act 2, they're like, okay, go do the big objective now. And that's the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow when I stream. So I'm very curious to see where that leaves me. I know I haven't found everything on the map because I don't have all the trophies for like finding all the zones or unlocking all the fast travel. There's 2 types of fast travels. I haven't unlocked all of either one of those. So I'm kind of curious to see where that stuff goes. From a story perspective, I don't really want to spoil anything, but I talked about it a little bit. I think it was last time, talking about like the alleged faithful taking advantage of those that are on their pilgrimage. I was talking about, every time you want to use a bench in an area, it costs you 15 rosaries, that sort of thing. I have really enjoyed the continuation of that as you continue to explore in the Citadel area, that you're starting to see the effects of the construction of the Citadel on the areas in the kingdom underneath it. So like that area I was in that has the poison water and all that stuff, that's a direct effect of that thing being built and running. And I'm a sucker for that, of like, look at this amazing gilded holy area, and everything underneath it is this kind of poisonous wasteland because of the choices that these alleged holy have made. And that stuff hits me every single time, and I'm just a sucker for it.
Oh, it's capitalism.
Yeah, it's capitalism, but also like the greed of the alleged religious and of the alleged pious, of like, we can see it in the U.S. of mega churches. You can see that sort of thing of like, cool, I gave you all my money and you bought a private jet.
You see it in the Vatican.
Right, like it's all that sort of stuff of like, but you can also see like the environmental effects of like, these people underneath this gleaming holy citadel are really suffering, and for what? Like, and for the people who are on the pilgrimage, they're trying to get to the citadel, they're suffering too, and for what? Like, what is at the end of this pilgrimage? And the deeper you get in the game, I'm not sure I have that answer quite yet. And I have gotten some. I don't think they did a very good job of this in the first Hollow Knight, but I think they've done a much better job of this in Silksong, where you're getting some areas in the game where you get a real sense of the depth of this place. So it doesn't turn into a 3D game, but there's some stuff where the camera will kind of zoom out and show you like, sure, this area you're in is big, but it goes deeper into the background than maybe you were expecting. And I think that's been super, super cool. this game is really great, and I'm very happy it came out. I'm very happy it's kind of like landing at the right time for me. I am frustrated in a positive way that I'm only playing this game on stream. I would probably be well done with it at this point if I wasn't. But I feel like the best part about these games is watching somebody kind of struggle through the highs and the lows of a game like this, of like, yeah, I beat that boss first time. That was really great. Like, I saw the Matrix on that one. And also I took 24 tries on this other boss because I definitely was struggling the entire time. Or I just slowly floated into a bed of spikes again. You know, like that's that sort of thing. Like that's
Are you playing this on PC or are you playing it on PlayStation?
PS5, yeah.
Okay. Could just start up a stream. Like, hey, this is me on the couch on the Portal.
Yeah.
Midnight stream.
The thing is like I the reason I only stream when I do is because basically like that's the time I have where I'm not doing kid stuff. So like whenever I'm done streaming, I basically like rock it and I'm like right off doing the stuff I need to do. So I wish I had more time to stream. I definitely would. But that's just not the reality of how it is right now. But
stay tuned for Boston Reacts to Bluey season 2.
That's right. That's right, man. But yeah, Silksong is really, really great. I will again say, if you didn't like Hollow Knight, you're not going to like Silksong. If you haven't played Hollow Knight, don't start with Silksong. Silksong is so much harder. Not in an impossible way, but like you this game is the extension of the first game, so like you're not going to, it's not going to be the game where it's like, oh man, they finally made this game easier, the sequel made it for me. It's really not like that. And if you're seeing anything online where you're like, I don't want to put up with that, don't pick up Silksong. Like it is the game that people are talking about. I'm sure some people are like blowing stuff out of proportion with the game. The number of people I see that are picking up an item and not reading the description and saying, I can't believe this game never told me this thing does this. It likely did. I picked up a new crest, which is essentially like a new like loadout, or like a set of skills, and I can't believe it never told me it changes my pogo. Well, you have to use the crest when you pick it up, so like you try out the skills when you pick it up.
Yeah.
It's giving you the opportunity to try
why did you leave the safe area for you to try things out in?
Right. And you like have
made
to
all these changes.
You have to go back to a bench to change your crest. So like you had a little bit of time with the crest to figure out, oh, do I like this? Oh, do I not? So anyways, Silksong is really, it is what it purports to be. And a lot of times people online, if they're saying something of like, this is too much for me and it might be too much for you, and if you agree, it probably is. So
yeah.
All right, that's all I've been playing this week. Let's take a break.
Yep. Wait, is that your
Trobio?
I was saying, is that your Trobio guy?
Yes, that is Trobio. This like very ostentatious fight. It's so good. Is another fight that I came back to like a couple hours afterwards, and like knocked it out on like the first or second try, I think. And that stuff,
okay,
God, that stuff feels so good. But like his like over the top, his like, he's always saying Trobio and then like saying all these other like lines, because it's all like gibberish, like Simlish kind of voice acting. So like it's really great. God, this game is so good.
You know, I did have a boss fight earlier today in First Berserker where a boss was charging up to do something, and I was able to just do enough damage to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, yeah, you thought you were doing that.
That's right.
But
you just like put your hand on his face. It's like, nope, we're not doing that.
But it is great when you get those moments. It's like, oh, thank God I finally stopped you from doing the thing that's been killing me.
And like, especially when you're fighting that boss for like the 15th time, and you just have that one really good run. It doesn't need to be a perfect run, but that one really good run where you beat it and you're like, oh, thank God. And then you're like, wait, no, is there another phase? Oh, it opened the doors. Oh, thank God.
God, I hate phases.
Well, there's always the ones where like an enemy dies, a boss dies, and they're like, bleh, I died. Haha, it's another phase. It's like, God, get the hell out of here. Go away.
Pharaoh actually brought up, and I forgot about it too. If you still had PS Plus, Liza P was part of August's free games.
Right, I did claim that because I try and claim everything on PS Plus when it comes up every month, unless it's sort of like NBA 2K25, and it's like I'm just not going to add that to my account. I'm not going to play that. But like everything else, I just add to my account of like, I don't know if I'm ever going to play this, but I'm just gonna let's do it. Let's add it. So I probably already do. Let me look.
Because my son had actually brought that up too when that came out. Because he's like, "Oh, are you gonna play Liza P on PlayStation?" And I'm like, I don't know if I want to play it again from the beginning.
It's on sale for only $30 right now, but it says I already do have it in my library. I probably won't play another Souls-like or Soulsborne kind of back to back. My next big game is. We'll talk about it here in like less than 5 minutes, but my next big game I'm going to start streaming this week is Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evilise Chronicles.
Yep, that is another one that I've got that I will get to sometime, and my son will play it before me. So
yep,
he is super excited. I am super excited to check it out one day.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm starting that Tuesday.
Cool.
So it'll be Silksong and Final Fantasy Tactics for a little bit.
Yeah, because I want to bounce between. Well, I don't know if you actually can or not, but I want to check out the new system that they did. It's a modified system of the Battle Ogre Tactics modified system, isn't it?
For what, Tactics?
Yeah, for Final Fantasy Tactics.
No, they added like a turn order, and that's about it.
I thought the job system stuff. There's like two different. There's the classic job systems, and then there's like a newer.
Well, there's two. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
We can just talk about it on the show. Yeah. Okay, are you guys ready to get started?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of September 29th, 2025. Alien Rogue Incursion Evolved Edition comes out PS5, Series consoles, and PC. This is the non-VR version of the VR game that came out, I think it was last year. The reception for that game wasn't super positive, but not necessarily because of the game, because of a lot of people feeling like there was a bit of a bait and switch on this game of when it came out. Everyone was like, oh, no, it's actually, we forgot to tell you, it's actually just part 1. We're going to be putting out another part to this game later. So it's not the entire thing. Doesn't seem like that was necessarily super clear before release. So there are a lot of places are calling this Alien Rogue Incursion Part 1 Evolved Edition. So I'm not entirely sure. But I'm happy that they're putting out a non-VR version of this. It looks, even from the footage here, like a fairly floaty first-person shooter where you're like shooting 4 xenomorphs at a time. So if you're looking for the like tense hiding out sort of thing, that's probably not this game based on the footage here. So the trailer just said hundreds of xenomorphs, thousands of bullets. So I think that probably gives you all the indication of what you need out of this game. So next game up here, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evilise Chronicles comes out PS4, PS5, Series console, Switch 2, and PC. If you haven't been following the development of this game, Square Enix, as it happened a lot during that time, didn't have the source code to Final Fantasy Tactics for the PS1. So they have recreated Final Fantasy Tactics from the ground up in 2 different ways. One, the classic mode, is just the PS1 version of Final Fantasy Tactics. They've remade it. That's it.
Yay.
Please notice I did not say The PSP or iOS versions, I'm pretty tired of crybabies saying, well, I can't believe they removed content from the PSP. They didn't. It's just the PS1 version. They didn't make the PSP or iOS versions. They're not going to do that. Shut up. So it's just that. There's then the modern version. I don't remember what I don't think it's modern. I don't remember what they call it. They have put voice acting in there. It's all British characters because it's Square Enix, so the voice acting is going to be really great. There's a kind of refreshed script to make it flow a little bit better for voice acting. They have a turn order now, which is probably going to be hugely helpful. They have a different display for the job system, which I think is incredible. In the original, it was just a ring of like, here's all the jobs you can equip. And randomly, seemingly randomly, you unlock a new job. And now it's like, cool, unlock this one, and these ones come out of it in a grid, in like a flow chart. You want to unlock this thing, get these 2 jobs to level 5, and then this one unlocks. So it's a way easier way to say, you can still go to GameFAQs. You should. GameFAQs is still great. But like, you don't have to be like, cool, how do I unlock the samurai? I need the ninja. Okay, how do I unlock the ninja? And
you don't have your knight to level 25 yet?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of those like quality of life things. I have heard word that there might not be random battles anymore out in the world map,
that as well,
which is wild.
Who was it? Austin Walker that I heard talking about it, that they had mentioned that it seemed like you can just trigger battles, like non-story related battles.
That would be really interesting. Of just like, I want to farm here, and like I just need to go back to town because I'm licking my wounds, and oh no, here's a battle with 5 chocobos, which means my soul is going to hell. That's really interesting.
It was so amazing running across like random monsters. Like, oh, this should be fun. I just killed like a whole herd of these. No, one of these happens to be 3 levels higher and just wrecked my entire party.
Yeah, this red chocobo is throwing meteors at me. What is happening? Like, Favor in chat says enhanced mode and classic. Thank you.
There we go.
So enhanced mode sounds really neat. That's the one I'll be checking out first, just to see like all the kind of new stuff and all the benefits and the quality of life stuff. But I am really happy to see that they have the original version in there. It doesn't have the PlayStation 1 version doesn't have the original translation in there, which probably won't be a deal breaker for anybody. We will lose the famous line of "blame yourself or God," which is still an incredible line in the original translation.
I was actually just thinking of that now.
Right, and like you do lose the like fight Daisadarg's eldest brother, which is like, that's my character. Wait, hold on. So like you do get the cleaned up like kind of War of the Lions translation. So I'm really excited for this. I haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics in maybe since the PSP, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the last time I played it.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited to see. Tactics is really great. If anybody is excited for a tactics game, or you haven't played one before, or you've always heard, boy, a lot of people say this is the best SRPG of all time. I wonder if it is. Yes. The answer to that question is unequivocally yes. It is one of the best strategy SRPGs, isometric grid-based games of all time. In every regard.
What led me to my love of Disgaea games.
Yes.
So, and also that little PSP and this game is what held me over for 6 months on deployment.
Right.
So.
Yep. Yeah. So every review that's come out so far has been really glowing. So I have really high hopes that this is going to be a really solid version of one of the best games of all time. So we'll find out this week. Check in the next episode.
There is also, I did read this, there are autosaves in this game, which is great. Because look up a non-spoiler guide about how to not soft lock yourself, because in the original and in the PSP version, you can get yourself to a point where you get to a certain fight that I'm not going to spoil here.
Yep.
And you cannot progress because you just aren't good enough.
Right, and you're like trapped in an
out
area.
Into the world. Yeah, and then you just have to restart
Yeah.
Welcome to Final Fantasy Tactics.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. All right. Next game here, Lego Party. Comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, Switch, and PC. This is the Lego Mario Party game. I'm not even going to hesitate just to call it that, because it literally is that. You're moving from one node to another on a map. You're playing mini games to get, I don't know what their star equivalent is here.
Studs, probably.
Golden Lego pieces. It's
yeah,
just like
golden Lego
game.
bricks, like it is in pretty much everything. But it's that, and I think that's super cool. That I meant to go look and see who was making this. Let me pull this page up here real quick, because
I mean, you're offering me a Mario Party game on something that's not a Nintendo platform. I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. This is made by SMG Studio, who appear to have made Moving Out 1 and 2. I can't tell if they made it, or they make that, or yeah, they're one of the developers on Moving Out 1 and 2. Okay, that's a good sign. Those are great games.
I hear families like to yell at each other over. So
yeah, so
$40, by the way.
$20, that's a steal. That's
40,
great.
40
$40, that's a steal. Fix that in post. But yeah, I think if you're looking for something that you and like your family or your kid and a couple of kids can play, this seems like that would be one of these games pretty easily. So that's Lego Party.
I'm glad we're having a good Lego renaissance now.
Yeah.
Not too happy about the price increases on a lot of Lego sets.
Right.
But glad to see that they announced a Star Trek Lego set. You know how much I geeked out over that?
Oh my god.
Really hard. Probably almost as hard as when they announced the Star Wars ones years ago.
Right. A little blood came out of my nose. I was super pumped.
Yeah.
Next game up here, talking about more kids games. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny comes out PS5, Series consoles, Switch, and PC. This is an isometric hack and slash action RPG with Nicktoons characters. I think if you're looking for something along these lines, especially if you're looking for another game that a group of peeps can play, if you're looking at like what was that, Minecraft Dungeons was the Diablo one, looks very similar. Of like you and a couple of peeps are just gonna hack and slash a bunch of dumb enemies all the way across this kingdom, and follow a barely there story probably. So looks like it's done pretty well. Next up, Magical Delicacy comes out on PS4 and PS5. We covered this on Game Club last year, 2 years ago, at some point on Game Club. This was a game that on launch when we played it certainly had a whole bunch of problems. I'm happy it's out on PlayStation platforms. Before we recorded this, I went to go look at patch notes for this game to see when this game had last been patched. That was 2 months ago, where they added a whole bunch of new difficulties and a whole bunch of difficulty sliders, including we're just gonna make it so you can push this button and you immediately cook stuff and nothing ever burns.
Lifesaver.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff like, hey, you completed this dish. I'm going to tell you exactly who it goes to when you hover over the dish in your inventory. It's like, yes, perfect. Cool. So it looks like a lot of the issues that I had with the original launch seems like it might be has resolved here. I give a lot of credit to the developer. I think it's a solo developer still, based on the language they were using in the patch notes. Seems like they've really taken a lot of the feedback to heart and really done a lot of work to improve the game. So I might check it out again eventually, but I had kind of a pretty negative reception to this game originally. But it had really cool bones, and I'm hoping that the new upgrades kind of fix a lot of those issues. So it's coming out on PlayStation platforms this week. Also coming out on PS5 this week, Ghost of Yotei. Probably one of the games, for a lot of reasons, you don't need to intro here this year. Some of them positive, some of them unfortunately negative. But it's coming out. I'm assuming you're gonna pick this up, Nimp?
Yep, that's why I'm trying to get through First Berserker real quick, because this is next up on the docket for me.
Right.
So I am excited to try it out. Like you were saying, there is some good and some bad. Depending.
Yeah, to not beat around the bush, I'm pretty disappointed in the studio not supporting Erika Ishii as the internet continues to harass her for being a woman that's voice acting video games. And then there was a recent firing of one of their employees for a social media post that I thought was pretty unacceptable for a company to fire somebody for a social media post.
However, that, if this sways anyone's opinion or not, that employee has reached out and said that, excuse me, you should not boycott this game because of their firing.
Okay. That is good. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, one way, I was getting this game either way.
Sure.
I was not aware of the firing until I think like last week, honestly, that I had heard about it. So, but yeah, so I am going to continue with this game, especially since they said just don't boycott its game. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I will be fine. So
I hadn't seen that. That is good.
Yeah, the harassment of the voice actress, though,
that's been a real bummer.
is something that this industry needs to be way better at. And unfortunately, I feel like this industry is struggling with enough bare basic things that we're just not going to see anything come about anytime soon.
And like, all we're really asking, to be super clear, all we're really asking, like in this instance, Sucker Punch and Sony to come out and say, hi, stop harassing Erika Ishii. She is a valued member of this team. We picked her because she's really great. Shut up, you weird nerds. Like, stop harassing her just because she's a woman that likes video games. Like, it's super easy to come out there and say, hey, shut up and stop harassing people. But a lot of these communities are running unchecked, and this harassment is running unchecked. And studios and publishers are just not saying literally anything. And that's the worst thing you can do. All you need to say is, stop harassing people. That's it. Do the bare minimum at this point. That's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ghost of Yote is coming out next week. Last but not least, Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2 that's coming out on the Switch. These two games are great. Like, I don't... It's a collection. If you haven't played either of these games and you have a Switch, go play these two games. They're incredible. They're some of the best Mario games out there. The collection is like maybe a little bit more expensive than I think it should be. I think this should probably be around the $40 price point personally, but that's not what Nintendo does. It's either 60 or 70. It's like a full price game, which like that's what Nintendo does. So like I can't. I'm not surprised, but I'm still a little bit bummed that these two Wii games are full price, seemingly without any real like major improvements made to them. There might be, and I just might not. They might not have been promoting them, like the improvements and stuff, as hard as some other stuff. But I would say wait for a sale, but that also doesn't happen. So
yeah, first-party Nintendo games never go on sale. So.
Yeah, so sort of that's the price, I guess, or buy it secondhand. You can probably do that. That probably happened at some point.
Oh, I'm sure there's a GameStop out there that's willing to take your money.
They will take your $55 pretty happily. Would you like a pro membership?
And try to sell you. I was saying, try to sell you on a pro or something.
That's right. Yeah, but that's coming out. If you haven't played these two games, they are really, really great. I'm not sure. I'm assuming based on this trailer, they'll still have the 2-player mode where you have the second person collecting the star bits and stuff. That's always a really great kid mode too, just shoot the bits and stuff on the screen. That's always really great. So that's coming out next week. We do have a news story this week. The Asus ROG Ally prices have been revealed. They went on pre-order this past week. The ROG Xbox Ally. Go ahead.
This is the very first time I have wished I was in England.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's cheaper?
The ROG Xbox Ally, the base level one, will cost $600 or £500, while the premium edition, the ROG Xbox Ally X, will cost $1,000 or £800. The difference is the base... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
The base ROG Ally is an AMD Ryzen Z2A processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and 512 gig SSD storage. The Ally X is a Ryzen IA Z2 Extreme processor, 24 gigs of faster RAM, and 1 terabyte of storage, and a larger battery. They both have a 7-inch 1080p IPS 120 hertz screen that also supports VRR. Go ahead, man.
So, for those of you who are not multicultural like me, so one of the big things that used to always happen, that used to really annoy me when I was in England, was games would cost numerically the same between America and England. So when a game comes out and it's $50, it's £50.
Right.
$60, £60. Which is terrible because you're getting screwed in the conversion rate.
Right.
By doing so, essentially. This stinks to... It's like... It's $100 difference and $200 difference. There's only one thing I can think of that changes that, because it's not like game prices have changed. It's not like console prices have changed. They're still... Numerically, they tend to stay the same in Europe and the US.
Mm-hmm. Boy, is there something different happening financially in the U.S. right now, Moon?
Yeah, Moon, I don't know what you're trying to get at here. Like, America's great.
No idea.
Taxes? Tariffs? Something like that?
Yeah. I mean, there's a T word in my head, but I'm not going to have to legally say it.
That's right.
Yeah, the color orange comes to mind for some reason.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think when you look at the higher end of this at $1,000, it's very clearly that the tariffs are hitting it hard.
If this was like $7.99, it might have me.
Sure.
It might have me as like a tax return, give myself a little treatsy for when I go on vacation kind of thing.
Right.
Or even sitting there watching television upstairs in the living room and being able to play video games.
Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, you can just say it.
Well, I was going to say, because I just pulled up just to double check where everything's at right now. Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 different versions. The lowest tier, $319 currently on sale. Mid tier's $549. The highest tier you can get is $649 right now.
Okay.
Now you can argue back and forth about this chip or battery life or whatever.
Right,
Everyone's got different
screen, blah blah blah.
Everyone's got different reasons for buying whatever. But it's like, okay, the high-end tier Steam Deck, that doesn't seem so bad with everything that you're getting with it.
Right.
For less than $1,000.
Right. And that's part of what I wanted to come in here and talk about is it certainly seems as I wouldn't say the Steam Deck is long in the tooth. I'd say it's getting older in a way that I think people are starting to kind of notice more of like, okay, that's kind of, some of the AAA games maybe are struggling a little bit. Obviously, it's still really great with indie stuff for kind of lighter load games. But, it sort of seems like there is a market that continues to grow for a more powerful handheld PC device. Because there are a bunch out there. Asus has some of their own, like they have other ROG Ally devices, like the non-Xbox versions. And I know this Xbox version, you can push the Xbox button on this thing, and it's supposed to we now know a little bit more about it, where it's bringing you into a non-Windows based gaming environment on the Ally, which is supposed to have a little bit better performance because you're sort of getting rid of the back end Windows platform. So like that could be good, but like I'm really curious to see when this comes out and as it gets on the marketplace and prices continue to fluctuate, is there a market for something that is the Steam Deck with more power, like a more modern Steam Deck, but without the OS.
The few tech heads I have been in conversation with, the Asus handheld stuff has always been super pricey, but has always been absolutely killer hardware.
It's like
really
very
killer
performant
hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats, like what it has in it right now, and it's like it's very comparable and more. If you're a stat head, it technically is more powerful, yes.
Sure.
And, you know, but
like they would have me, like easily they would have me if it wasn't a G.
Yeah.
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 And like don't put that Final Fantasy VII in your trailer. Like I'm not going to play it on my regular Xbox when it comes out next year.
I'm going to put it on a big screen. Thank you very much. Yeah, and like that does, it does sort of. You have to wonder of like, how much would this thing be without the tariffs looming over it right now, and would it get to that kind of $800 price range? Because you could look at that and be like, well, it's only $150 more than the highest end Steam Deck. So like, man, maybe you get $150 more dollars worth of power out of that. Like that okay, maybe I can make a case where it has a nicer screen,
for
etc.,
me, it's the library too. Like I have the Xbox library right there, waiting to be played.
And like one of their big selling points is the library integration of GOG, Battle.net, I think
Steam and everything else.
Steam, Xbox, and I think Epic Game Store, maybe. But like, you know, there's also something really appealing to that as well. Of like, obviously the Steam Deck is a Steam store primarily device. You can install Windows on it and like do Windows, like you boot in Windows and then you can do whatever you want in that with, you know, a performance hit. But there is something really appealing of this, of like, okay, cool, log into all 7 of your platforms and just start downloading stuff and playing it. So I think
I know nobody else here uses the Xbox app on PC because I'm the only freak who does that kind of thing.
Right.
But it's showing me recently played games now in my Xbox app that I've loaded from Steam. So like in my recently played games on my Xbox, it's got like Descenders, Repo, Peak. It's got all of the PC games that I've been playing is all just popping up on there, and I can literally hit the play button and it'll just launch it on my PC as well.
Interesting. Yeah, so like all of that stuff is really appealing. It's just $1,000 is like a real big pill to swallow. And like I'm sure a lot of people are still living in 15 years ago where they can say you could buy a PC for $1,000, build a brand new one. Nope. Not for a real long time.
Someone who recently went through pricing of building and buying pre-built.
Yep.
Like, no, you definitely cannot.
Especially with the tariffs and stuff. It's not happening, man.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And that's something that I've been digging through a little bit too, because like it does look like a nice piece of hardware.
It does, yeah.
But the biggest
vacation to Japan. Buy a PC parts, build the PC in Japan, and then just bring the PC back with you in your luggage.
Yeah, there you go.
You still have to claim it through customs, because if you don't, they possess it.
No, you don't.
It's just a lot of manga. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I could. Yeah, it's just that price point, man. It's like the only thing that's really killing this thing.
And like I think for a lot of people, if you don't have a PC right now and you don't want dual monitors in this big tower that has RGB and all this stuff, maybe $1,000 isn't really. But also, like
as I sit in front of my dual monitors with my RGB tower,
my RGB tower
I feel attacked
down here, and I have 3 monitors, so like I'm right there with you. But like, maybe there still is something appealing of that. Of like, I just have this thing that's around the size of a Switch or a Switch 2 that I don't have to sit at my special desk with my special monitors and all that stuff. I think that's still really appealing. And I think that's still where the market is, but $1,000 is still a lot.
And I would want to see what the public does with it once they get their hands on it. Because like Steam Deck, you can sideload so many things on
Yeah,
there
you
and make
just
that
load
thing
whatever you
perform
want.
in so many different ways. Yeah, that's what makes it. Like I'm still looking at possibly getting a Steam Deck.
It's
at
a
some
great
point.
emulator machine too.
That's 100% why, because
Yep.
someone wants to play Parasite Eve, and there's not a good current way besides pulling out my
From
PS1
Square?
to play my
No.
games.
You don't
Yeah,
say.
exactly.
Actually,
Don't mention the PE.
no, hold on. There
Don't.
was somebody who made. We've been talking recently about the "I'll do it myself" games. Someone today just announced, "Cool, you guys like Parasite Eve? I'm making Parasite something," and it's just like it's
Steve,
another.
I think
No, it's like
it's a guy in like a green T-shirt with
right.
long pants.
yeah. So there,
think
there
I
it's
have the
another one
video
of those
up.
"I'll do it myself" games of just like, fine, I'll do it myself. I'm making my own Parasite Eve.
Parasite Mutant.
Parasite Mutant. There it is.
Literally have the video up from my son on my text
Yep.
messages because we were looking at it.
Dad, look at this! Dad, look at this! Yeah, so check out Parasite Mutant if you're waiting for it. But
I
I'm
haven't had a chance to watch the video yet, but I'm like, okay. But this has turned into like a whole thing seriously because like I want to play it, my wife wants to replay it, so I'm looking at it's like, okay, Duck Station's a good emulator, and I've got my game and I've got my PS1. I can pull the stuff from it. And then it starts hitting into legally gray area, and Steam Deck lets you do some legally gray stuff. So.
Sure, yeah. Emulators are still legal, don't worry.
Yeah, it's just, once you're getting the certain bin files and stuff where it starts getting kind of weird.
You pulled
even though
it
I
off.
own
You
them
pulled
and
it off
legally
your
can.
PS1. You're fine. It has that serial port in the back. We're fine. It's
Exactly. I have the serial numbers and everything.
Yeah,
you come to my house, I will show you that everything is legit.
That's right. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how this does. I think I would not have predicted that the Steam Deck was going to do 10% as well as it has done. So, are we seeing a kind of additional market here for a more powerful version of that, which is very clearly what they're going towards? We'll have to see over the next couple of months, but I think the like we've been saying, the first big hurdle for them on this one is just that price, and trying to see if they can get that price down as quickly as they can. So we'll see.
Yeah, because I would love to see. I would love to get my hands on it and kind of goof around with. Maybe I'll go to a Best Buy. Maybe they got a kiosk.
Oh, they probably do. I bet you're right. Yeah. I don't think a Target would, but I bet a Best Buy would.
Yeah. But it's just that stupid price.
Yeah, it's just can't get around it.
Oh well.
All right, that's all of our news stories this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Please don't forget to join the Discord server, discord.tvgp.tv. We do have the best community on the internet. I'm not just saying that. They are really great. So come join over there. We talk a lot. We talk a lot about junk food. Have you found some cool junk food that you haven't seen before? Please come in the Discord server and tell us about it. We will all probably race out and go get it ourselves.
Post pictures. We thrive off of pictures of random junk food.
That's right. That's right. And don't forget, this show is community supported and listener supported. You can go support us over at e1m1.cash. $5 a month tier is the recommended one. That's it. Gets you everything. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated. If you can't support us financially, go hit up the YouTube channel. Anything that gets released on the public feed here has a video component to it as well. For this episode specifically, we're watching trailers of the games we're talking about for releases. We're watching videos of the games we're talking about at the top. It's not required watching. We're never gonna do any sort of sight gags. You don't have to watch the video version. I don't like it when podcasts do that. But we will continue to capture the stream archive here. And don't forget to rate us positively only, please, over on your podcatcher of choice. That really does help us a whole ton, especially if you're going to leave us a glowing 5-star review that helps other people find our show from the algorithm. I think that's all. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Nip, what are your titles?
First off, before I do titles, I want everyone to know that I am thoroughly enjoying watching the sun work its way from Moon's face to Boston's face.
Across our great nation.
Yeah.
From sea to shining sea.
All right. I have going hibernation mode. I play this one-handed. Yeah, rock and stone. And Trobio!
Trobio! All right, Moon, what do you have?
Spoken like a true Democrat. Grist for the mill. Steal from ourselves. I play this one-handed. One man's lobster. Statue violator. I feel attacked. And Parasite Steve.
I slept through Saturday. One man's lobster, because it keeps making me laugh. Going hibernation mode and Trobio. Is there anything that's... I like one man's lobster as kind of my lead one here, but I'm not married to it.
It's a very this show title. It's a very this show title.
Yeah.
So let's just do one man's lobster.
Yeah, that works for me.
I'm circling it. It's such a good name for a game.
And I'm ready.
Aggro Crab, if you're looking for the name for your sequel, it's One Man's Lobster.
Yes.
All right, I'm ready as well.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 936 for September 29th, 2025. One Man's Lobster.
Is another man's crawfish.
Make sure to kill your lobsters humanely.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We do greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go get out of this super hot room. We'll see you all next week.